2, 1. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Simulation. We are sitting down with Sarah Haugen. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
I appreciate it. Vitalist Superfood. Hell yeah. It's so important. Because micronutrient-rich food for people that are really trying to move around and get healthy food and like stay busy. Yeah.
Yeah, so we designed this product line so basically anybody can take what they need on the go. Our intention is ultimately to offer kiosks in various cities around the world, specifically in airports, so people can have something super healthy while they're flying that doesn't weigh them down. And that's the point of the food. It's super light, easy to digest, micronutrient rich, and living food. So it comes from a term called life food, which was coined by Dr. David Jubb and his ex-wife Annie Jubb. They came up with life food, and this is a variation on their food combined with sort of David Wolf's theme on superfood. So it's kind of brings the two together.
This idea of life food, or food that is doesn't weigh you down.
Right.
Because I know this is probably the most relatable example for people is when you have the choice to eat a burger or a salad. That seems to be like the most relatable way to get that.
Right.
And every time you eat the burger, you're like, whoa. Every time you eat the salad, you're like, huh. You're like almost, like you said, lighter. Yeah.
So one of the things is that we're all facing so much stress in our lives, and one of the biggest causes of stress is actually the impact that food has when we take it in, and the amount of work the body has to do to break it down and assimilate the nutrients. So we try to make all of that super easy and accessible through all of our cuisine. That's kind of the point, is that it's easy to digest and get it in and have it go to work, so we get energy from it rather than like we need a nap.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, how can you make food that's so rich in nutrient value that's easy for us to digest and continue on with our lives? I love that mission.
Yeah, that is my mission.
I love it.
Yeah, so a lot of people have ideas about what I should do and how I should do it and what to do next. But I'm super committed to the product line.
Yeah.
So although I have a lot of really fabulous products that can stand alone, pretty much every one of them can. However, I think the whole product line is actually the value.
Yeah.
So I came up with the product line based on doing liver cleansing and cell rejuvenation cleansing, which Dr. Jubb taught me. So I spent 8 years studying with this guy, and since that point in time, he's kind of moved on to a different path in his own life, but he released some books that sort of speak to this, and Annie Jubb, his ex-wife, is still doing the work in Los Angeles.
Is this with Wellness Avatar?
No, they have a product line called Life Food.
Life Food.
Yeah, so
cool.
He has lifefood.com, and she has Life Food Organics, and she's in Los Angeles, and he's bopping around talking about a new topic now, which is different off subject, but so he taught me about cell rejuvenation and liver cleansing, and basically about 17 years ago, I had been on doctor prescribed speed as a kid. And so this had a huge impact on my liver. By the time I was 21, I had very minimal liver enzymes, which meant almost anything I ate was very difficult on digestion. I sort of became allergic to things. I became overweight. I had acne and serious congestion. And I didn't know what to do. So I became a vegan. And then vegan didn't help much because I was allergic to soy and gluten and corn, and so these foods were not reacting well, which is the basis of the vegan diet, pretty much. And so then I was like, well, I asked this question, I'm like, well, what is nutrition? And then I started seeking an answer to that, and ended up at these underground raw food dinners, because it wasn't on the table at the time. So people were talking about colonics and juicing and chia seeds and flax seeds, and all these conversations were very new at the time. They weren't public conversations. And during that time, I met Dr. David Jubb, I met David Wolf, and I met Giuliano. And I helped Giuliano launch Giuliano's Raw in Santa Monica. I met David Jubb, who got me doing liver cleansing. And I met David Wolf, who had me start thinking about what are superfoods. And so these were kind of like the three topics going on in my life. And the majority of the work I ended up doing was with Dr. Jubb, because I started doing liver cleansing and saw huge changes in my health overnight. and over time. And so after about 3 years, I had reduced all the 40 pounds I had put on. My skin had gone back to normal. My nails were strong. My hair was long. I was totally radiant. And so I had a complete life change. I went from looking at 24 years old, something like at 40, to looking about 19 at 32. And then like slowly living in California, I got back on coffee and wheat and glutens and things over the time. But I still have done a lot of work. And even now I do like 1 cleanse a year. And right now I just committed to doing 2 weeks myself to just sort of reset the program.
Yeah.
But anyway, so on that program, we do blended food that contains oil. And on that program, you can also have things that aid in digestion. So unlike fast and juice cleanses that are popular today to talk about, we do things that sort of stabilize blood sugar level, that are friendly to almost anybody where they're at. Even diabetics have had success on our programs, where we can take, for example, electrolyte lemonade is key in our program. So anybody can actually make this at home, and it can be found in Dr. Jeb's book on how to make this. I do a variation of it. Mine's not exactly his recipe at all, but similar. And inside this, when we take somebody that's diabetic, we just actually grind up flax seeds and stir it in to further slow the blood sugar response. Yeah. But all of our drinks, with the exception of this one, which is a cooked drink, this is the only one we cook, but it's a slow extraction of herbs. The shizzle. We have it as thizzle as well. The thizzle is a little bit even more elaborate than this one, but this contains approximately 17 ingredients. And it's sort of a whole body reset, but this is a slow extraction. This is the only drink I make that doesn't have oil in it, is our tea line.
Mm-hmm. And some of them have, what is it, like aloe oil or?
No, every single one of my products, we either use coconut oil, flax oil, or olive oil.
Coconut oil, flax oil, or olive oil. And then you also have some flax seed or chia seed to slow down the blood sugar response.
Depends on the person that we're dealing with. So
okay.
Still to this day, like we don't, in my drink line, we don't, well, that's a lie, because we put chia seeds in our protein line and our protein drinks.
Okay.
So these are sort of designed for the person that wants a meal, that wants to get the chia seeds in. What's unique about this versus a lot of the chia seeds on the market is that we pre-soak the chia in a probiotic water. And so we get the chia activated, and then we add our milk that we make. So this one, lately we've been using, we sell this at the gym where my test kitchen is. So recently I launched this test kitchen and launched this product, Vitalist Superfood. Prior to that, I was doing business as Wellness Avatar, and everything was in little cute mason jars for like 5 years, and by order only. But so this one is a cashew nut milk made with a Sun Warrior protein powder, and we use honey. Honey is another key ingredient besides oil that we put in nearly everything.
I just recently made mushrooms with honey, and I thought
mushrooms
it was
with honey.
Yeah, it was so good. So
what kind of
honey,
mushrooms?
Yeah, just like full mushrooms, and then added some like tarragon and honey, and just sauteed them in olive oil. But I just thought that it was so interesting, though, honey can be added to so many things. Surprisingly enough. And so so coconut oils, or olive oils, or flax oils.
Flax oils.
And then so that there's a huge benefit of having coconut oil or flax oil or olive oil in your drinks. Right, so
coconut oil is also a tricky food to work with when it's not heated. It can go rancid and it can turn to soap. So we create an emulsification base, and we only use coconut oil almost exclusively in milk products. And our milk products are made with nuts. So we make an emulsification with coconut oil and a lecithin and some salt and honey, and then we make our nut milk, and the nut milk is made with coconut oil.
So let's take a couple steps back.
Yeah.
You started unpacking this underground world.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so then recently we've learned about like hydrocolonics, so actually cleaning out your colon with water, and we've also been practicing. I haven't done that yet, but we've been practicing things on the show like fasting.
Okay.
We've done a lot of fasting on the show. We've done a lot of like 5-day fast, 3-day fast. Fasting feels great. We've done a lot of eating just raw food and not even cooked food, and so just raw food, no milk, dairy, or cheese or meat, or even refined sugars. So we've tried like a lot of things on the show. And this whole like underground world that was coming up that you were immersing yourself in, and a lot of the underground world actually, like you said, had to do with like liver cleansing or colon cleansing or just cell rejuvenation, these things that the mainstream media and mainstream nutrition doesn't really talk about enough. And there are these ways that we can heal our body through food that you started really being passionate about.
So a few things on that is that, one, I would never say anybody can heal themselves with food, but I would say that people can set new patterns and they can get the body where it's optimal to eliminate or manage whatever could be going on that's more toxic.
Well, for example, if you have like irritable bowel syndrome, and then you stop eating the food that's causing you the problem, the body will heal.
Correct. So we're careful about using those. I'm super careful about the language around these things because I've been in the field for a super long time.
But repatterning behavior is
really
crucial.
But my whole theory and the whole theory behind my training is that we do upstream cleaning, which is dealing with the liver. So upstream cleaning. So you would never go to a river and clean the bottom first, because it's just going to keep emptying back into the bottom, and the bottom's going to remain
That's a good way to put it.
dirty. So we go to the top of the liver, and we basically wring out the liver, and we get the liver better able to manage toxins. And while we're doing that, we start to increase elimination in the colon and the small intestine by using herbs that contain aloe vera or different sort of food-based herbs that get the digestion stimulated and moving. And then we use liquid nutrition and things that have seeds and other sort of high fiber content. So we don't work with juice necessarily. We work with things that have all the fiber intact. We have oils to keep the things stable, and we use oil and lemon juice and oil and acid to sort of wring out the liver. So like a sponge, we're sort of like wringing it out. And then as toxins, come in, and as toxins are released, the body's better able to manage it and move it out. So we think in terms of this.
Upstream, so crucial. I like that analogy a lot. So you're at the top of the stream where the water's first starting to roll down, and that's the analogy for the liver.
Correct.
And then now, how are the coconut oils and the flax oil and olive oil, how are they kind of like wringing out the liver and making it better?
It's the combination of the oil and the acid. So one thing people may know about...
Where does the acid come from?
Well, so like for example, the lemonade has lemon. Cool. The aloe detox has lime. And they both have an oil with them.
Cool.
Cool. And on a typical liver flush, one would drink some oil and acid, lemon.
Like
or grapefruit, and you kind of chase one after the next. But you would want to be prepared for this, so that what happens is it causes the gallbladder duct to open and things and to sort of flush and release. And this has been tested. Like people can actually collect what residue may come out and take it and have it looked at under a microscope and see actually what happened and what's occurred and what's been released. So on some level there could be saponified oil, and other bits are like calcified calcium stones and various stones that have been sort of stored. And so depending on... I just want to
also make the point that it pretty much almost always is a high socioeconomic status thing to go through a liver cleanse. It's difficult to find low SES communities of people that can afford the time and the resources to do a liver cleanse.
Well, somebody, if in an emergency situation with a gallbladder issue, could just get a Coke and a bottle of olive oil and sort of force it through.
A Coke?
A can of Coke, yeah.
And a bottle of olive oil?
Yeah, and I mean, you wouldn't drink the whole bottle of olive oil, but you could do a significant, and it would cause the gallbladder duct to open up and release. But that's been done. We've seen it done with some people.
But all you need is a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of
you need the it's not a little necessarily. It's like 6 to 12 ounces.
And then 6 to 12 ounces of like lemon juice.
We're talking,
6 to 12 ounces of lemon juice.
Yeah.
So that's actually not that expensive. So I mean,
No, this doesn't like, okay, but we get into this glass jar and I'm buying fancy oils and fancy honey and salt and like organic produce and everything. We're getting into a different thing, but like almost anyone could make this. We're talking a lemon, water, salt, a sweetener, and oil. And shake it up.
Don't say that. Don't tell them your secret.
Well, this is not mine. That's not what I'm saying I do. So like mine has like high-end honey and olive oil. So honey, and that's another really good conversation, which olive oil and honey are not created equal. So you can't just like, and that's where I'm saying.
What does that mean?
Well, olive oils are very different, how they're processed, where the olives are grown, how they're pressed. And then honey's even more finicky than olive oil, because if honey doesn't come from a tree and it's not raw, it's actually can be more toxic than white sugar. Cooked honey is more toxic than white sugar.
Where are we going to get all our honey when they kill all the bees?
That's the whole thing. I mean, I really do stand for employing the bees.
Yeah.
I'm like way up there. Let's
They're on the
employ
endangered
bees.
species list now.
Remember we had
heard.
Matthias on our show, and Matthias was talking about how he figured out how to engineer bees so that they could be more productive. And that was a really interesting show with IndieBio with Matthias.
You just leave the bees alone. They'll engineer themselves. They're doing fine until we interfered.
So,
okay, back to the show.
So it's interesting that there's all these different like cleanses of this upstream area that occur. Like we need to go through this liver cleanse. We need to test this out and see what it feels like. We need to get some olive oil, some lemon juice, some Vitalist Superfood. We need to try this out. And then there's so many other, like you said, things that people work on for their bodies to cleanse that. Some of them aren't even that expensive. Like that's great, but totally once you get a professional.
Well, we have a drugstore version of this, which is like at home. Like as far as the liver cleansing goes, there is a drugstore version.
There's
like
a drugstore
Epsom
version.
Salt,
Yeah.
Get some lemons, get some oil. You can get it done, and
But then once a professional ends up putting together the ingredients into a nice package, and for you to just be able to grab and go from location to location, that's when things can get a little bit more expensive.
This is where they get expensive.
Yeah.
Well, also we've upgraded all the products, so like there's nothing. Everything I use is the best you can possibly get on the market.
In terms of ingredients. That's
right. I don't believe in doing anything less. So I only use organics. And then I use the highest quality honey. I use a blackberry honey that's harvested from Oregon. We have it driven down. It's not even flown, right? That thing gets driven to me. We buy it in the 45-pound buckets.
Wow.
We go through a lot a month.
Wow.
And like we source every ingredient that we get. And then like, for example, so on the cleanses that I provide, I've designed crackers. And I've designed balls, and I've designed porridges.
Yeah, let's go through some of the things on the table.
So this is really the only thing that can kind of do it at home, but even on the way I do it is different. Like with the particular type of sea salt I get, apples, like where I source these things kind of makes it unique to how I do it and actually my recipe on it. But in general, other than this product, none of this is something that we share how we do, other than I just will give out the tip that if you are to make chia at home, it's good to soak the chia ahead of time and get it activated, because chia has a huge expansion rate, and when it's not soaked, it doesn't behave the same way. So even if you're going to use it dried, it's good to soak it, then dehydrate it, and then bring it back in. That's a perfect example is this cracker. So this is our chia flax chip. It's actually not a cracker, it's a chip. Uh-huh. So we make chips and then we make crackers, and you can kind of see there's like a difference in the width and sort of the way it behaves. And then this is also a cracker. This is a cheese cracker. And then this is against the chip. Mm-hmm. And so this chip here, though, is designed specifically for fasting and cleansing, and it's flax seeds and chia seeds. The chia seeds are completely activated before anything happens.
So you've soaked them and then dehydrated them.
Well, we soaked them and then we made it into this batter, which is then dehydrated. And so this is a completely raw chip here, and it's a B vitamin hack as well. So we use some nutritional yeast, so it's got a high amount of B vitamins in it, and this is one of this key things that I make, and there actually is nothing on the marketplace like this right now. This is one of the only one and only of this.
You call it the chia?
The chia flax chip, and this one actually, the version of this, the idea of this was sort of designed by Dr. Jubb, but his was very different than this. But this is mine. And then
let's give that a taste.
Okay, yeah, great.
Ron, you want to come on set and give some food to taste?
Sure.
Let's do it.
And then, but this is the one these two are kind of the ones that I'm the most proud of. So this thing here.
This is fantastic.
Oh, you like it?
What are the other ingredients in it?
Secret ingredients. There's apple cider vinegar in it. And we use some baking soda in it. Baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, is a byproduct of digestion. And so we use a little bit of that in, nutritional yeast, and then some spices.
Wow. It's fantastic. Try the.
So what's this again? What is this? What is this? What is this?
Yeah, we're getting into this here. So this is the pizza cracker. So this is the chia chip.
This is the pizza cracker. I want to try that one first.
Try that one first.
The chia chip.
Yeah, gotta go like the least.
For fasting.
Yeah.
Now you can eat this when you're fasting. Is that the whole idea?
So on our cleanse, it's called the Life Food Nutritional Cleanse, which is designed by the Jubbs, and my products all fall into their product line, into the theory behind their cleanse. I've designed products that can be used on their cleanse, which their cleanse is cell rejuvenation and liver cleansing. And so we get into these, like this one, which is pretty interesting. So this is my cheese cracker. So vegans can't eat cheese, and they miss the cheese, the cheese chips and things. Yep. So this one is
cheese cracker.
Yeah, and it's made with
better
almonds.
Than a cheese dip.
Yeah, almonds and
Holy
almonds,
cow.
flax, and cashew cheese, and then I turn this into a cracker that's completely blended. So this is a blended food that, as you chew it, becomes liquid again.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole point is that we try to get everything as close as we can to a blended food. And then this one is like my little gravy thing.
What do you think about the cashew cheese cracker?
Oh, it's nuts and cheese.
No, there is no cheese in it.
What's
You can make
cashew?
cheese from cashews.
So I blend the cashews and some ingredients into
it's cashew cheese.
Cashew cheese.
Who'd have thunk? You could make cheese from cashews.
And then it's made with almonds and flax and cashews, basically.
That's so good.
Do you find it weird or interesting or good?
It's good. You should get with Willy Wonka, and work on that pill that he's doing until they got to the blueberry pie. And then
exactly.
She exploded.
Nutraceuticals.
Are we doing a quad view right now?
No, we're doing just a head
center shot.
Yeah.
So this is the one.
Pizza cracker.
Yeah. So what's neat about this is it's very good on its own.
Sorry, I love this.
That's my favorite.
That's
the one I live on. That cracker actually with this tea could satisfy me for a year of my life. Break it open.
We're
gonna get onto that one. Give me a second here. Okay, so this here is our paleo pizza cracker. Paleo pizza cracker. That's what we call it, and it's almond flour and flax flour again, and then we basically make a soup, a spicy tomato soup, and then full of vegetables, and then we dehydrate this thing down and we spice it up. And then we call this our pizza cracker, and we do make pizza out of it, which is this guy right here.
Pizza.
And this also has other of our products on it. So on top.
Oh my God, Ron, try this.
What is this?
It is so good.
The shizzle.
The shizzle.
For
and that tastes so good with the cheese cracker.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're kind of designed to go together. It's
it's like the perfect salty
swag.
and sweet.
Yeah, it's just like the thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Whoa. And ingredients on the shizzle are.
It's the hibiscus is a standing out flavor.
I love it. The hibiscus
and rose hips are the dominant things in it, but it
that's
has
so good.
dandelion, nettle, rose petals, hawthornberry, bilberry,
Rose
usnea, reishi mushroom,
Wow.
ginkgo, ginseng. A couple other things. That
She basically listed her whole
Chamomile.
ingredient list.
Except that one's actually short a few ingredients because
You're a beast because you know your whole ingredient list. That's really that's awesome.
Well,
I make it.
Well, I know, but at the same time, some people don't know. Look at how many products she has. It's hard to remember.
So I just want to share this real
Yes.
quick. So we're looking at this pizza, and there's like this little bit of a white sauce on top. And so we make a macadamia nut Alfredo cheese.
Whoa.
So it goes onto our pastas, or we drizzle it on this, and then this is pine nut pesto. And these are some, so like some of us around the raw food community have been doing these things for years, but we all kind of made up our own version. So mine is like spinach, basil, parsley, pine nuts, and then we have a spice blend that we designed ourselves that that we put into it.
Macadamia nut cheese.
That's macadamia nut cheese, and then pesto,
yeah,
and the pine nut pesto below.
Pine nut pesto, and then that's on the pizza cracker.
Yeah, no, this is on our pizza
with
cracker. So these are
cucumbers.
So this is our with there's actually sun-dried tomatoes.
Those are cucumbers. They're zucchini,
no, these
or what
are
are
zucchini.
they? They're zucchini.
And then we also make our own sun-dried tomatoes. So we buy the sun-dried tomatoes, then we soak them in a special oil and spice that we design.
Sweet.
Is there a restaurant there too?
Yeah, so in we do have in our test kitchen, we have a cafe that we deliver within the San Francisco radius.
Nice.
Through DoorDash, Grubhub, and Postmates.
What's the cafe named?
Vitalist Superfood.
Vitalist Superfood is the cafe, and it's located?
It's located at the AMC movie theater inside Studio Mix.
At the AMC movie theater, which
on Van Ness.
On Van Ness, so that's Van Ness and like
O'Farrell. Van Ness and O'Farrell. Inside Studio Mix.
Inside of Studio Mix.
Yeah, and you can find us on Yelp or Grubhub, Grubhub, Postmates, or.
And you deliver as well to the San Francisco area.
Yep, within 7 miles of radius.
Within 7 mile
radius.
radius.
Which is the size of San Francisco, 5 mile radius, 5 mile.
Yeah.
So we
Let's
have this
do it.
pizza cracker here, and we can open another one. Like we have another one in this box here, so you guys can each have your own.
You take that one, I'll take this one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So by the way,
with me.
you take that with you. Look
All
at this.
right.
Do you want to give it a bite?
Yeah.
Wait. Also, give a little shot. Did you get a little zoom in on that on the camera too, on how beautiful it is?
Yeah. Can we get a shot of this, Johnny?
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, come on.
Well, I was just going to show it to the center cam.
Yeah. Go
basically.
ahead. No. Go to camera one and zoom in. Cut to one and zoom in. And get a shot of me. There we go. Are we on program?
Yeah.
Okay,
All
you
right,
got a good shot of this?
Yep.
Let's
Got
put
some
it in
good
the
light?
mouth.
Okay.
So look at that. So we got the beautiful. Take it a little bit up. Give me a little.
Pesto,
Yeah, like that. There you
and
go.
then this, macadamia Alfredo and our sun-dried tomatoes on the pizza cracker.
On a pizza cracker.
That looks so good. All right, we're good. Back to the 2-shot.
And I'm going to take a bite. Yeah.
All right. I'm coming back now. So, okay. So the packaging's really cool too. It's like very kind of like.
Excuse me.
We'll bring you back for more food, Ron.
No, I'm good.
Soon.
Go ahead. Do your show. I
So-
got to work.
The packaging's really great too. What inspired the unicorn?
Well, okay,
like
so
a-
ever since I was a kid, like unicorns become trendy, unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever. I don't know.
They're cool.
I don't know how to go about that conversation, but ever since I was a kid, my entire room was done in unicorns, and my favorite conversation was about unicorns, and like I wrote a story, it was about unicorns, and everything was about unicorns. So I also have a line that's very original and beyond ordinary. So we don't, and that's our tagline is go beyond ordinary. We don't believe in doing anything that's like conventional necessarily.
Likewise.
So what we want to do is, and it doesn't, if all of a sudden everyone was doing this, I wouldn't necessarily care. But the point for me is more about having something that isn't what exactly the masses, what the government's feeding us. Like whatever. This is very unique food in general.
Wow. This is so amazing.
Thank you.
This is the first time I'm trying this. It's so good.
So I'll just chime in. As you can see here, we also, let's see if I can mess up my mic, but here we also use the pesto again. So the pesto is really valuable because we can use it on a number of different things. So this is our zucchini pasta, which you get a totally different flavor than when you eat it like that as a pizza.
You have to order this pizza right away, people that live in San Francisco.
And this is actually one of our more popular things. So we make it with macadamia Alfredo. We have a red sauce, we have a curry sauce, and we have a pesto sauce. And we just brought the pesto version of it because I thought it would be neat for you to try how different the pesto is from one thing to the next, because it just unfolds differently as it's put on something else. And
if you can pass me, that'd be great. Wow.
So yeah, it really does come down to like one, delicious tasting food that is easy to digest and can be taken where you go. So right now we're in the process of building boxes. So the zucchini noodle can fit in the middle, and in the compartments there would be a pesto, and then the spices, and then the oil and the lemon, and then the chopsticks and the napkin. And for you,
Holy
sir, zucchini Alfredo.
May I just say that
pesto.
that was the most unique and delicious pizza that I've ever had.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Can I try the pizza cracker a bit by itself?
Yeah, of course.
I made a little piece. That's perfect. So this is what it tastes like by itself.
The thing is, what our viewers may not understand is they think that, you know, with healthy food that's good for you, it doesn't taste good, but this just throws that idea right out the door.
Exactly, Ron.
It's just really it's very tasty.
Wow. This is what the pizza cracker tastes like by itself. And it has a good kick to it.
Right.
I like that kick.
Yeah, we spice that thing up. And we'll see, and I also, while we're at it, now this is our hummus. So I'm really into spice and flavor. And so one of my favorite cuisines is North African or that sort of Mediterranean. And I'm always after that. I grew up on Italian food, so I like the Italian food palette and whatever. And having worked with Giuliano, he was really like into rich, heavy food, where Dr. Jubb was into like oily food that was easy for digestion. So I've my cuisine falls between the two of them. But a lot of the products I've really designed just based on like my own preferences. So like this hummus is made with garbanzo beans, so there's a cooked bean in it, but we activate this thing. Yeah, the lemonade.
Oh, electrolyte lemonade.
So I would love for you to taste this hummus.
Lemon, apple, ginger, honey, olive oil, turmeric, sea salt. Ronnie, you want to come give this a go? It's so good.
And then would you like to taste the hummus on the pizza cracker? So it's done in a different way. So one of the things is that we like to make these things so you can have whatever sauce it is that you like with the crackers, and then you get a different sort of thing.
And what is this?
That's our electrolyte lemonade, yeah. And that's technically a cleansing product, but it's also done for rehydration. So the majority of my clients buy these like aloes and lemons all the time.
Can it clean my filthy mind?
Uh-oh.
What did you think? Ron, not with your mind, it can't. What did you think?
Delicious. Yeah, heavenly.
Yeah, it's crazy
good. And the colder it is, the better it is. Now it's like been sitting out a little bit, but when it's cold, it's crisp and so delicious and refreshing.
It is. Ronnie, I love this. Try this red pepper harissa chickpea hummus.
I hope you guys came hungry.
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay.
Isn't that good?
So now, while we're talking about that, as we get into,
and it's so much different than this is.
Can you hand me that plate?
Yeah, of course.
So, because it would be good if you tried this now. Yeah. Because here's the thing. So, additionally, so some more of our products.
Can we pause for just red pepper harissa chickpea hummus? This is the best hummus I've ever had.
Well, because this is on here actually.
Oh, sweet.
So to go a little bit deeper into this. This hummus, our red pepper harissa hummus, is on our. This is our Mediterranean taco, and we also make quinoa hemp tabbouleh.
Here, I'm going to go zoom in on this.
And we also make a cucumber yogurt, which this isn't, but it's a version of it. So we sell little jars. Oh no, we have like more than 30 SKUs.
Is it nationwide or outside?
No, we're just in San Francisco currently.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about
I want you just to pick
angle
this thing
that up. Angle that up a little for me.
You don't want to spill it though.
And then can you give me these are Mexican tacos, you said?
No, this isn't the Mexican taco. This is the Mediterranean taco.
Mediterranean taco.
So we layer this thing out. It's got our red pepper harissa hummus, which is one of our products. It has our quinoa hemp tabbouleh, which has black sesames, quinoa, hemp, various herbs, sun-dried tomatoes, olive oil, spices. And then we typically make a cucumber yogurt that's savory and has mint and harissa and other things in it, which for some reason isn't on here. But and then, so this is just a combination of all of our products sort of made into this taco, the Mediterranean line. And this is our Mediterranean taco.
All right, perfect. I just did a good close-up of it.
Did you go back to camera 2?
I did.
Okay, so I'm going to give it a try.
Yeah, give it a
Pick
try.
it up and take it as like a taco, yeah.
What if I spill it?
You just kind of like, you know.
I'm going
Well,
back
you
to
might-
this
you might
cheese
do
cracker quick. Oh my God.
I would put the plate down, maybe you got it, okay.
Eat under the, eat with your mouth open. Ron. Go, Ron. Mediterranean tacos. It's the first time I've ever heard of a Mediterranean taco.
Well, it's also in a cabbage shell.
Danish cabbage shell. Here, we'll eat the rest
Completely
after.
gluten-free.
Thank you.
We'll eat the rest.
Wonderful. Mediterranean taco on a great cabbage shell. What do you think?
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable.
Before I even put it in my mouth, it just smells so amazing.
Because you can smell the mint.
And it looks so beautiful. Oh, it just, like Ron was right. Ron just said that people think that eating healthy has to be eating food that doesn't taste as good, but this is better.
Not anymore.
So actually, that's part of the point is that it's, when I became a vegan, it was really awful because it was like, now what?
How long have you been a vegan?
I'm not a vegan anymore, but I'm mostly vegan.
If you had to choose only one living meat to eat, what would it be?
A meat?
Yeah.
I don't like to eat the animals. When I do have something to eat, it's fish. And,
Wow.
and I like trout fish from a lake. I feel like it would be something a human
Trout.
could catch.
Oh my God, that was so good. I have to try this pasta now. Ron, come try this pasta with me.
Sure.
Wow. Oh my
And then
gosh.
we'll move on to dessert.
Oh, there's dessert too, the
actually,
sweets?
For these, so this is actually part of our nacho line, which I didn't bring it, the nacho cheese, but we make a cashew spicy nacho cheese, and then we serve this with a mushroom
Oh my
meat
gosh, you
and
are
a
amazing.
cumin guacamole, and so we have this whole nacho hack.
How does, now I have to ask this question because people at home are wondering, like most people only go with one product line or at most 2 product lines, right? How did you?
How did I?
This is a pasta.
This is so
Oh my
funny,
gosh,
you guys
that's
eating-
amazing. Oh, how is this
Pasta,
pasta? That's so good. You must order from Vitalist Superfood. Go to
This camera, right?
Go to vitalistsuperfood.com and order from their San Francisco location and order food to your house as soon as possible and try this food. That is so good.
Or you can go see a movie up there at AMC on Van Ness.
And if you have to have an animal, we'll put chicken on it for you. It's organic. But if you have to have an animal, we do offer chicken out of the cafe.
Oh, I have some shrimp.
Even though it's
Why couldn't you add some shrimp into this?
we don't cook inside the thing, so we buy organic rotisserie chickens and shred them. But
How
I
good is
personally
that?
I don't think you need the chicken.
There's no bread.
Well, at least we got him to eat more than one bite.
There was no bread.
Well, you've only taken one bite of
Those are
everything.
zucchini noodles.
Oh, this is basil.
We call them zoodles.
Zoodles. Okay. We cut these on a mandolin.
They're nice and thick too. They remind you of like thicker pasta. So, okay, so this was fantastic as well. Oh my goodness. Okay, so go and order as soon as possible from Vitalist Superfood, or go to the AMC on Van Ness and go to their cafe and order.
If you want to
there.
have a party, we'll cater it.
And they'll cater your freaking party.
If you want to have a party, we'll cater it.
Vitalist Superfood catered would be like the best food at the party ever. So I feel so blessed to be trying all of this. It's so amazing. Okay, now the question was, how does one person decide on 5 or 10 or even 15 products like you have here versus starting, what did you even start off with, and how did you decide to go to 15, and how do you manage all 15? of these products?
Well, what happened? We have more than that. But what
Oh
happened?
my God.
What happened is I designed a cleanse line so people could do a liver cleanse that wanted a liver cleanse, and then I was like, well, you really need the crackers. So then I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll make the chips. Then I made the chips, but then I was like, but I like the cheese crackers. So then I had to make the cheese crackers. Then I was like, well, when you're on the cleanse, you can also technically eat pizza. So then I was like, well, then we'll add the pizza. So then I had the pizza cracker and then the stuff that you can put on top of it because it's all blended, so you can get away with a little bit heavier. See, personally, I ran on a cleanse, a life food cleanse, for almost 3 years. So I was on a raw food diet, almost exclusively blended life food for about approximately 3 years. And when you're going that deep into something, you really want to be entertained by food.
Yeah.
And so overall, once somebody gets their health started going, which is why like doing a liver cleanse is very different than just like changing to a diet. Because if you change to a diet, you don't necessarily attack some of the issues, the underlying issues like candida, which like, I don't know if you can see it on me or if you don't know much about it, but like right now you can see I have a little bit more candida than is necessary. Comes from eating bread and cheese and yeasty foods.
What's candida?
Candida is an overgrowth of a particular type of yeast and bacteria in the digestive tract, which occurs when food is fermenting. And food ferments, when you eat food that's high in yeast and such as cheese and bread and wine and fruit on top of these things. So fruit and nuts don't really necessarily go together. So we don't really do that here in general, with the exception of some dessert, which we usually recommend eating first. And overall, we try to put everything so it's like low candida footprint. And but one of the things about this conversation is that you want to get the system back in order and then consider what you eat moving forward. So if the system's not in order and you switch to a healthy diet, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a transition. This is why cleansing is powerful, is because you want to get the system in order. Then you want to consider what are your food choices. And if you're going to make bad food choices, you really need to spread them out. Because it's the cumulative effect of day after day after day on something that has the highest impact. The LCAT test and these popular tests that are running now where people can see like what their intolerances are and things can often be fixed by just simply rotating the foods and spacing them out by 3 to 5 days.
It sounded like you said that this whole accumulation of bacteria in your gut, yeast, you said in your gut, came from eating a lot of the cheeses and stuff over and over and over and over again, not spreading it out. I was just trying this, both the aloe detox and the green jazz, and I just loved how there was still, you can see there's still some of the, the goodies that are, you can still, there's still some like of these little chunks of the goodies in there. So it's not all soup. I like that about it. It adds texture. I really like that, and it tasted really good. I want to say that you said that you were starting with the drinks.
As long as you're saying this, but like this is actually like you can see the speckles and things like you were mentioning, but this is a food. This isn't a drink. So, and one of the things that I've noticed,
this is a food.
Yeah, when I run people through, this is a food right here. This is actually a food.
Vitalist Superfood.
And this is a food as well. This is the whole lemon, the whole apple. Everything is still in here, as it once was. It's just basically chewed 300 times. And with the exception of this, we only pulse the mint in just to keep the bitter down as much as we can, because this is a very bitter drink, which is incredibly good for the.
I loved it though.
This is personally the one I drink the most because it has the most benefit. So we use the whole aloe plant, where like you can go to the marketplace and you can buy some like aloe with citric acid and potassium sorbate.
You can eat aloe?
What?
You can eat aloe?
We use the skin and the gel in this, and the skin actually helps shrink the intestinal tract and help elimination, and the gel cools and sort of brings the hydration back into the body. So this, and we also use spirulina in this. So this is a protein machine. This thing is a machine right here. This is like a very, very, very highly sophisticated product, and it just looks pretty simple. But I
feel the effects of this food.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting thing though, but this drink is
that's awesome, Ron.
One of the most this and this are like probably the 2 products I'm most proud of designing. And part of the reason I designed this line is because I really personally like to, on a daily basis, feel like I did something for my health, no matter what else I'm doing. And if I drink one of these 2 drinks, I know I did. There's no question in my mind about it. I for sure took care of me today. And so I think that's like first priority. We all need something that we can do on a daily basis where we feel like no matter what, I hit the mark. And then we can keep adding on to that. And the nice thing about the Vitalist Superfood line and having all of this available is like anytime you eat, if you choose it, you did something for yourself. Like off the bat, you can eat a pizza and you're like, I have to eat pizza today, and then you can eat it and you can feel good. So like when I originally was hired by celebrities and CEOs and things like this, so I worked at a restaurant, and then I started getting passed around the Hollywood scene when I was younger. And the hack was always like being able to take a lemonade like this, and I can hide MSM, which is organic sulfur, which is incredibly bitter, and like no one wants to eat it, and I can hide it in there, and I can hide people's other foods.
It's a good hack.
Yeah. So and like this is like when I have the clients and they like
an oatmeal. It's the texture of an oatmeal.
Because you take the chias and you actually let the chias absorb water. And you let them soak, and then you put them in the drink.
Correct.
And so that's why you can still taste it. It's a little like bubble tea, smaller little bubbles.
Exactly.
And they're actually really fun to like chew and drink, and it makes for a fun drink. And you have 2 of these. You have both the vanilla and the cacao. There was our 15-minute timer. Let's give that a flip. And okay, so now, and I know that we have a couple other things that we need to try. You were saying earlier that you went from starting, you're most proud of your aloe detox drink, which is freaking amazing, and the shizzle.
Oh, and then I have soups, which
the
soups aren't here, but like when we talk about the aloe detox, the shizzle, and then we have these soups, which often when people are talking about raw soups, they're this blend or puree of something, and it's like, eating this cold puree of things. All of our soups have texture and flavor. So we spice the things up. So we have like a sunchoke leek soup that has fennel and it's crunchy. So we make a thing at the bottom, and then we have like pulsed nuts through our spinach basil soup. So as you're eating it, you get to kind of chew your way through the soup, and it's cold, but they're high in flavor and good in texture and everything. So so that's kind of summarized as our liquid line, and then the
you have soups as well, which is great.
Yeah, so we have a savory line.
And you had a little order here because you went with initially making the liver cleanse, and then you had the supplement of the chips with the liver cleanse.
Correct.
And then you decided to put the pizza ingredients on the pizza chip, and so that's how you slowly built up your line over time. That's really interesting. Most people will. You actually built out one idea, then a secondary idea that complemented the ideas, that's great.
Well, and then there's the desserts, which are
we're
also
trying right
included in the line.
The Choco Chia Choco Drop.
That was just a
Choco Drop. Choco Chia Choco Drop.
Choco Chia. So this is instead of a protein bar. So it's a protein powder, walnut, chia, chocolate thing. But this is our protein bar, basically. And we try to make them look like cookies because it just like tricks the brain.
Walnut, chocolate powder, coconut oil, sea salt, cashews, vanilla.
One of the things we like to do is trick the brain around here. Mm-hmm. Trick the brain so it thinks it's getting junk.
The first ingredient's chia, and the second ingredient's walnut.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And then we have these.
Well, this is better. This is a little bit more interesting because one of the reasons these exist is that we can make pies that people can eat while they're on cleanses.
So awesome, yeah.
So instead of having pies now, we just put them in little jars so anybody can feel like they're getting their little baby food dose of dessert. And this is actually how I originally attracted clients, that they wanted to eat dessert and they didn't want to feel bad about it. So these are all gluten-free, dairy-free, white sugar-free, because we use honey.
Dairy-free, white sugar-free, use honey.
Yeah.
Lemonicious whip. Ron, let's give this a go.
Well, that's a big serving there.
He's nervous.
What is it again?
Lemonicious whip. Holy cow.
So this one is specifically like on the liver cleanse.
Yum.
Because we use the
Yum.
coconut oil and we make that for the liver cleanse.
Yum.
And then this one, we make them in all kinds of flavor. We have the chocolate one, and then we have the raspberry one, we have a strawberry rhubarb, and we have a mixed berry. And
that
we have
was the
like all kinds of
raspberry
it.
whip. So we just did the lemon whip. The lemonicious whip versus the raspberry whip.
Remember
And
the
then the
Blues Brothers?
chocolate. People go crazy over the chocolate.
Orange whip, 3 orange whips. You don't remember that? Oh, I'm dating myself there. John Candy and the Blues Brothers. Delicious.
Holy cow.
I actually got to work with Dan Aykroyd. He was one of my clients. And the strawberry rhubarb whip is designed around Dan Aykroyd. He loved strawberry rhubarb dessert. So one day they were like, can you make a strawberry rhubarb thing? And so I made the hack, the frozen pie, and then that got him.
I love Dan Aykroyd.
Wasn't he a Blues Brother?
He was, yes, he was one of the Blues Brothers.
That's why I brought it up.
Yo,
Elwood.
I wasn't just name dropping.
Yeah, no, you were good. Yeah, no, that was good. I mentioned the Blues Brothers. No, that was a good segue.
Okay.
It was
I
good.
didn't feel so bad.
What a great way to get a dose of dessert, like in a little, like you said, a baby food jar. So that way you're just getting a little bit of dessert. It tastes amazing. On the raspberry whip, you add the crust of walnut, and then you have vanilla and sea salt, and then cashew and coconut.
So we used to make them with
Wow.
Irish moss, but there's been some controversy around Irish moss lately, Carrageenan.
What's the Irish moss controversy?
Some people feel that it's inflammatory or not good for this or that, but I wouldn't agree. But I just kind of pulled
moss.
from it because it's in the almond milks and it's got some controversy. So this is one of my newest products.
The
very
unicorn
newest
balls.
Yeah. But so unicorn balls is actually just kind of our promotional name.
This
in the
is
time
peanut
being.
butter. It's so good.
Yeah, so the peanut butter ones were designed for a child originally, and then the chocolate. But these are different than a lot of the superfood balls on the market. They're like ground down things, and they don't have a lot of texture going on.
These have a lot of texture going on.
So there is some balls going around the community, but
The
these are
interior
designed.
is beautiful.
These are bars, again. And these are done so when you go to the gym and you want to work out and you don't want to feel weighed down and you know you're going to drink your water, you can eat 1 or 2 of these. And then as you drink the water, it's going to slightly expand in your stomach, but only to give you more energy. So it's a high protein, high energy, calorically dense for a small thing, packed meal. So this is 2 of these. You're not really getting above 300 calories, but that 300 calories is a very small thing to actually eat. And we call them unicorn balls because there's nothing really like it on the market, actually. It's a massive amount of seeds. It's a very clean protein powder. No coconut oils added in.
Ron,
almond butter or peanut butter.
Can you get a zoom in on the inside of this ball?
On the inside, yeah.
Yeah, and do you want to do one of the peanut butter too? Because they're very different on the inside.
I have a little bit here
Yeah.
too.
The inside.
The inside of the unicorn balls.
What's really interesting about the inside of these balls is that when you bite into it,
Keep that up.
when you bite into it, the inside, it looks like a planet of seeds. Like it looks like a planet. And like it's like a diverse seed count in there. There's so many of them.
Yeah, and we're not labeling right now because I'm a little bit until we fully launch. I've kind of tried to protect everything as much as possible because
They're beautiful.
There's so many. I've already seen a lot of my things copied and duplicated from anybody that brought me in as a consultant. So yeah, that's what happens. But
When you're brilliant.
and I also on another note, almost all the ideas I got came from somebody else myself. So it's like no chef is absent from their products being learned from.
Hey, that's rock and roll.
But we want to share, we want people to learn from us. And I find it as flattery when somebody copies me for the most part. And hopefully they feel the same for anything that they feel I copied at all or improved upon.
It is. It's
I'm so original.
It's
Nobody
actually
cares.
It's a big compliment when people take what you've made and they copy it. It's a big compliment because it's a testament to what you've achieved. So, holy cow, we have everything from delicious liver cleansing and just across from oils and acids all the way to chia seeds.
Well, I just want to make a remark because we've gotten a little bit like, because we've labeled it as a cleanse doesn't mean that's what it is exclusively.
Totally.
Like, this is a perfect post-workout drink. This is a perfect morning drink. It rehydrates your system quickly. I prefer this one before bed, but you can take it any time of day. So like a lot of my clients stock up on like these, and they get a couple of salads and some unicorn balls, and they just keep their refrigerator stacked.
Likewise.
And that originally we were going to call it stash food, because it's like, yeah, like you can it's really good to have these staples in your kitchen. Like if you have a cracker like this, you can put whatever the heck you want on it. Avocado, we make an avocado toast with it.
Oh, that's great.
Right?
That's a good one for avocado
toast. So you've just got
toast.
like this really beautiful, easy hack for your kitchen that you can, use any one of these bases to turn it into anything. Like I said,
salmon. You could put salmon on those crackers.
Exactly, and like even with that taco, for example, we make it out of our staple products, and the pizza we make out of our staple products. So it's kind of good that anybody can kind of have some of these things in the refrigerator, and they can sort of take care of one element of their day easily, or all of them if they wanted to really go.
So we have some for really hydrating in the morning with oil and acid. We have some really good aloe and ginger and other deliciousness in the detox in the evening. We have some really great chia protein and milk for post-workout, and that's,
we do have a milk line as well.
And
this is without the chia in it.
Milk line without the chia in it. This is just drinks. Then these got complemented by these other stash products and soup. And these stash products are like, just being able to walk over there and grab one of these, either chia crackers or cheese cracker or pizza cracker, and then put a little avocado on it, or a little bit of the macadamia nut cheese.
Cashew nacho cheese.
Cashew nacho cheese. And then we have this Mediterranean taco, this cabbage leaf with all this delicious red pepper, harissa chickpea hummus on it, mint and cucumber or zucchini. And then the pesto that's on the pizza is also baked into these zoodles here, and it's just so good.
Stirred in, not
stirred
baked.
in. I mean,
we don't cook.
I meant, it's so funny because I say baked in not referencing actually baking it. I meant baked in, like it's baked into the cost kind of a thing. Yeah. So we got zoodles with pesto there, and then the dessert line is amazing. The Superfood Lemonicious Whip, the Superfood Raspberry Whip, just such a good way to just grab a dessert and just be done with a little bit of dessert and sweet that's actually good. These are so good for, like you said, working out. These unicorn balls, peanut butter, and then the chocolate as well. I mean, you're just doing such an amazing, diverse job at starting a company and also distributing it across San Francisco, and then also just you did it based on the need of getting of cleansing the body, getting micronutrients and making it easy to absorb. And like, we're so grateful to have Vitalist Superfood on the show, and that hopefully we can make Vitalist Superfood stashes inside of like people's houses, their corporate offices, the workout areas across the world.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Let's do it.
So right now we're working on raising money. I've so far funded this on my own, and we want to expand. And so there's different people I'm talking to, but maybe some people are thinking about considering doing a restaurant or moving more into that space with some of the foods, and then other people are interested in helping get it packaged up more so we can move it a bit more around the planet. And then I personally am passionate about retail shops where we just sort of sell prepackaged items made out of commercial kitchen that people can easily just pre-order or hit the button or get the thing and get out. Because really, like, that's how I feel about my food. I don't want to spend so much time weighing down my food most of the time, and then sometimes I want to sit down and have a delicious meal, but in general I just want to make sure I have something healthy to go.
Grab this, sit back down, continue emails, take a couple sips, grab and go with a little pizza on the go. You can eat it as you go. I mean, it's
kind of a hack.
It is. This is a huge life hack.
It's a total life hack.
You created a massive life hack, and we're so grateful. You know, while you were talking about how you're all, you know, you're invested deep into it yourself, funded it yourself, I was thinking about all of the connections we have in the hospitality sector out here, and people that would absolutely love your product line and working with you. So we'll definitely make those connections. Let's see what we can do. We'll make those connections and see what we can do. And we'll point them in the direction of the video as well and be like, check out what we just broke down, like this whole hour of conversation of breaking down all of your different foods. And I can't get over that this even exists in the world. Ron said it really beautifully earlier, which was that most people think of healthy food as having to sacrifice taste. But here, this actually is not only healthier, but tastes better as well. And that's just the biggest mind explosion when you can get those two things mixed together. Healthier and tastes better. That's it, right there.
Thank you. So if you want to come by or you want to place an order, if you just let ourselves know or put in your little comment box unicorn balls, we're happy to throw a couple unicorn balls in for you. So thanks for tuning in and trying my food and having me on the show. This has been really great.
Loved having you on the show, Sarah. It's been such a pleasure. And let's so the link below is in the bio to Vitalist Superfood. Go check them out at the AMC on Van Ness and O'Farrell in their test kitchen there and in their cafe. Go try their food out. Order their food as well. Let's see if we can bring Vitalist Superfood and just healthier and faster and better tasting food to the world together. Let's see what we can do here.
Go beyond ordinary.
Go beyond ordinary. We love it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. If you guys had a good time, definitely give us a subscribe, give us a like, comment below your thoughts about the episode and share it with other people. And like we always say, don't just consume, go create with this. If you saw and were inspired by Vitalist Superfood and these different types of ways to augment our health, go and do it yourself. Go and make yourself. Write about it, make a video about it, go and make something, show your parents, show your friends the healthier food, the tastier food options that exist in the world. Go do that. Help support us on Patreon so we can continue making the studio a reality and bringing on amazing people like Sarah onto the show and highlighting their beautiful things that they're building into the world. So thank you very much everyone for tuning in. Thank you Ron Vargas, our producing partner. Thank you everyone, and we'll catch you soon. Peace.
Peace.